Hey, what's up? Sorry, Rich Man Chin. I should probably try hitting the mute button. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. What would I do without the RMC? Rich Man Chin in the VIP. Thanks for saving the entire show. Pants together for you. Give me that. So as I was saying before, this is the Crypto Harlem live stream. It is September 21st, 2024. We're going to keep it short and sweet, like my hip hop mixtape. You could catch it selling it out of the trunk of cars. It's one line. It's me trying to figure out what rhymes with hack. Yo, what rhymes with hack? And then I get blank out and the song ends. So it's pretty bad. Stick to your night job, hacking the planet. Yeah, so let's jump into it. Before I start, I want to get some background music going because uh, that kind of silence always throws me off. So, first person in the chat on whatever you're on, if you're on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, which is our preferred streaming platform, I guess. Yeah, just throw a genre, and you know how it is. We're gonna find some cleared samples for you. I would love to put your favorite artist and your favorite song, but then we're gonna take down notice. So we're gonna put like the fake version. As I say, it's like when you walk into that store that sells gold and does tattoos and has perfume, and it's like if you love this fancy designer perfume, you'll go crazy for this that costs $10, like total, and smells the same, supposedly. So yeah, we're gonna try to get your favorite fake artist on here. You know, like if you like Kaylani, we'll have Jay Lonnie. It's kind of like Kalani, but cleared sample. So yeah, throw me a genre. Last week, I think we did some hardcore punk. The week before that, I think we had Afro beat. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to hear. If you can hit the keyboard, please do so. Um, Otherwise, I will pull it up and shout out to not a sponsor, but just the tool that we use, Envato Elements for the tracks. Although I was thinking about switching out of Envato and using Artist.io, but only because Artlist, not Artlist.io also does AI voices. And some of the AI voices are so funny. I was like, yo, I can't really justify being on both these platforms, but yeah, that's basically between the two. But okay, let's see. What goes on? Lo-fi beats might be nice. Let's do it, Dance with Burritos. Thanks for that option. Okay, so let's get that going. Let's get that lo-fi. What do you think about this one? I know you probably can't hear it that well. Oh, that sounds nice. Let me try this other one. Ooh, ooh, wow, that's kind of bossa nova lo-fi. You know what? I'll give you both. Um, this one is like the bossa nova lo-fi. Let me get it and get my license. And this other one is like it's it's kind of like chilly, like it's like a hip hop lo-fi beat, you know? So look at them both. Okay. Hmm. Let's see. This one is this. Oh yeah, that was that. Okay, great. How do I stop them? Okay, there we go. Oh, you're gonna love us for this one, Dance with Burritos. You really, this track is a keeper. Dance with Burritos, do you prefer the hip hop one or the lo-fi one? I'm gonna do both, but just Let's- Boop, 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 boop. Okay, here's the hip hop one. Here you go. I hope you couldn't still hear me over this. I'll start it up a little amped up. Oh, it's gonna drop. There's a DWB, dances with or retell. It's not just a meal, it's how you wrap it up. Wrap up your thoughts and encrypt them. Oh, wave your hands from left to right. That's right. Get on a mic tonight, but make sure you're hacking right. Light them up, the left to right. Oh, dancing with burritos. Oh, that's so. I know. Keep your day job. Keep your day job. All right. Let's see what's going on in the world of cyber. So I'm queuing them up. In case you don't know, latest hacking news, Hack Read, the Hacker News. I'll throw dark reading in there. You know what I'm saying? VX Underground on the Twitter, x.com. You know what I'm saying? We giving you that gully straight from the digital streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the whispers in the cyberspace? I was thinking about adding some dark web forums, but then I was like, yeah, they're not really that cool about being on blast like that. They're kind of like, if you know about us, you know about us, whatever, you know? Shout out to the live stream sponsor, which is also my clothing brand, Not Anon. Check it out. I got my super user hat in the red box. And this is a new one, the metallic embroidered hack sweater, because it's getting cold on the streets of New York. Okay, so let's see what's going on the VX. Checking in with our homies. Oof, that's a lot of money. $243 million. Pink Lambo, why not? So, in case you haven't followed the story, let me see if I can just pull this up for you. Here, let me actually go back in proper order. Boom, boom. This is pretty funny. Keep this going. I'm trying to see. Okay, here we go. So this is a story about Zach XBT continues to prove himself as world-leading expert in crypto analysis. As you know, cryptocurrency leaves a trail, and the best way to move money is still fiat cash. Okay, even if you use privacy coins like Zcash, Monero, Dash, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are coins where the ledger or the record of where the transfer is going and from, you know what I'm saying? Unlike Bitcoin, they're not as public, they're encrypted or private, but you can still follow every kind of currency. And in this particular case, Zach XBT gave law enforcement everything they needed on a silver plate. And it says, this is about this particular hacker, and got busted in less than 2 months. This tweet needed to put like where it says he there. They're talking about Greavies, okay? Who got these are three hackers, um, and they stole 243 million from a single person last month in a highly sophisticated social engineering attack. Um, and if you want to follow this story, whoa, easy. Sorry, that's my AI. Calm down, puppy. Okay. So I'll put this link out. It's a really hot story. I'll put part one was September 19th, and part two of the story, which has photos of the bust, is from just 2 hours ago. Okay. But basically what happens here is it's a great way to learn a little bit about how to follow Bitcoin transactions. There's an art and a science to it. It's a little bit of reading tea leaves. And then there's a message here from VX Underground to all the hackers out there. There's an interesting psychological phenomenon where some threat actors, particularly scammers and fraudsters, falsely believe that having money will make them respectable or make people like them. Money means nothing. Materialism does not impress people, only the shallow. And it's just a reminder, it's kind of like those who do don't talk and those who talk don't do. If you got to be flashy and buy your friends, no new friends out here in Hackerland. You know what I'm saying? It's a recipe for disaster. So yeah, that's that. And I just want to make sure that we talked about that a little bit. Here are the two tweets that you'll want to read. I don't want to get into the exhaustive tracking of it, but it's really a good follow. Let's see. If you just click show this thread. So I'm just going to put the thread to make it simple for you. Boom, right here. It's in the Chizat. But know that this story came from the VX Underground. And you can follow Zach XBT, which is Zach XBT on Twitter if you care about these things. So let me just make sure you're looking at the right screen. So Greavies, Wiz, and Box, three hackers that got busted, but their government names now known. So that's just part of the investigation. They got busted pretty hard. October 19th, they targeted a single creditor. I mean, wow, this is, when you read this, it's also, if you care about using a currency like Bitcoin in some way that's supposed to be more private, this might be also an instruction on what not to do. Okay. And then the second link I want to share with you is just a follow-up on the arrest, which just shows, this is just from 2 hours ago. Okay. Like Greavies, who's not Wiz and not Box, just one of the hackers here, purchased a pink Lamborghini valued at $241,000. No, that's not right. And 3 Birkin bags valued at $63,000. That doesn't sound right either, but we'll see. For a girl he had a crush on. Whoa. So he was like, I'm gonna rob this place of their Bitcoin, and then I'm gonna just try to impress somebody by buying them gifts. So, which now you just caught him up in the whole thing. Oh, then of course, the VX says she replied when he provided this like pink Lambo and these 3 designer bags. I'm taken once again. She didn't even say thank you, they said, which is, but look at that Lambo. Wow, they got, so that's another thing. When you get caught out here, you're gonna get caught out there. Your chats are gonna get caught out there. I got you a present. We'll call it an early birthday gift, a thank you gift. I appreciate you so much, heart. Like, whoa, just goes to show. So I'm gonna make sure that you're able to see that. Here's the pink Lambo with the 3 designer bags on it. Here's the chat thread, embarrassing as it is. And if you want to read more, here is in the chat. Actually, no, not that one. It should be, yeah, maybe. Hold on. This is me juggling too many shares. Yeah, no, it should be this VX one. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. So that last link right there, that's the chat, the Lambo, 2 hours old tweet from the homies at VX. Oof is right, Dancing with Burritos. That's a big oof. Oh, thanks, D Elixir, for the saying the sweater is fire. Boom. Soon will be available online. Okay, let's go. And let's see what's up in the Hacker News. I tend not to talk about too much like government or nation state stuff, you might notice, but I'll cherry pick my favorite story, and we'll just do it together right now. They'll have like a story, then they'll have like, you know, LinkedIn halts AI data processing in UK amid privacy concerns raised by ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office. Ukraine bans Telegram use for government and military personnel, which makes sense because Telegram no longer has any encryption whatsoever. But what doesn't make sense about it is because of super groups on Telegram, there's a lot of groups that have intelligence that's quite useful to people in different, theaters where there's conflict. Europol shuts down a phishing scheme, whatever. Access management, Iranian advanced persistent threat actors. Chrome users can now sync passkeys across devices with a new Google Pin feature. That's worth talking about. Okay. My favorite area when they cover it on Hacker News is cyber attacks. Because oftentimes, you get that raw stuff. US offers 10 million for info on Russian hackers, and I already know that one. All right, let's see. Which one we're going to talk about? If you have a preference, holler. Otherwise, we're going to jump into LinkedIn, and then we're going to talk about quickly touch on Telegram and Ukraine. Okay. All right, let's do this. Here's a LinkedIn story. LinkedIn halts AI data processing in the UK amid privacy concerns by the ICO, which is UK's Information Commissioner's Office. And they've confirmed that LinkedIn has suspended the professional user data stuff. And, it's cool. Like, LinkedIn's like, we're going to work with you. We're going to iron this whole thing out, And if you got concerned about the way that we're training our AI model, no problem. We'll just wait out for you to let us know when you're done. If you need anything, we got you, because LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft owns OpenAI, and OpenAI owns the GPT large language model, LLM. So you can see that this would be a huge pain for them if it became a problem, because by aiming, as you may know, all artificial intelligence is not a living, thinking computer. If anything, it's like a bird, like a parrot that's learning how to navigate through conversation trees. You could think of it as like if I always say, like, if a parrot landed on a table and started singing your favorite Kehlani song or Beyonce, you wouldn't think like, wow, what an intelligent bird. Maybe I should have it decide where I should go to university, or what I'm saying, like whether I should gamble my family's you know life savings away or whatever. You probably wouldn't do that. You'd be like, cool trick. And at the end of the day, that's where we are. These are technological marvels, but technological cool tricks. There was actually a really cool piece. I'm just gonna like Margaret Mitchell, no relation. Okay, had posted this article. This Sam Altman. Okay, let's let's see where I can find this. And props to Margaret on the testimony on ethical AI in front of the Senate Subcommittee on Privacy, Technology, and Law. AI ethics. There's just a few genius people who are looking out for us, and most of them are women of color or women or gender minorities. Like, it's just wild. But let me see if I can find this Altman. Here we go. So in it, there's the paper by a lot of different people, including Emily Bender, Timnit Gebru, who was at Google at the time, Margaret Mitchell, Angelina McMillan, on the dangers of stochastic parrots. Can language models be too big? And it is one of those like ethical AI and just technological like must reads. So let me just share it real quick. Margaret had posted where, related to the LinkedIn story, Microsoft owns LinkedIn, Microsoft owns OpenAI. OpenAI runs GPT. This tweet here where Sam Altman, the CEO of GPT, says stochastic parrots can fly so high. And that's a reference to that paper. And then she puts a link out to the paper. So I'm just going to put that in the chat. And maybe we'll tackle reading that paper. Maybe that could be a thing we do for the more advanced and heady audience. We can like tackle the paper, and I can try to translate it into like as plain speak as possible. That might be kind of fun. I got to practice that though. There are a lot of great papers that come out, and I try to stay on top of them because that's how you stay on the cutting edge, is reading these technological papers. This particular one, you can read the brief here. You click on PDF, and then you can get the actual PDF. And the paper itself is 14 pages, and it's great, And it was written. When did this paper come out? It's been a minute now. You know what I'm saying? 2021, I want to say, right? Before the world was like, oh my goodness, GPT, blah, 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 all this other stuff. And it's really a warning, and maybe like a little bit of a grounding, to use an AI tool term. Also, grounding is also what we call retrieval augmented generation. So a little bit of pun there for the AI nerds. But just keeping us grounded when it comes to like what this stuff is and what this isn't, okay? So yeah, that was really cool, and I thought that I wanted to share that with you. Check it out, and I'll put the tweet from Margaret on the just blow that up a little bit on the screen, so you can follow that link, and that's the tweet from Margaret Mitchell. Also, the testimony. Not to jump around too much. Let me see if I can find it. There's like a little bit of like a This is 4 minutes long, and it doesn't have captions, so please excuse. But let's just put this on for 2 seconds. Pausing that track, and when we come back, we're gonna put on the other lo-fi track by, we were listening to, Lo-Fi Beat by Oasis_music, of course. I know you guys hot on your playlist. And we're gonna switch when we come back after this little video to Lo-Fi Beat by Marble Space, another artist that makes open music that can't be, that you can get through Envato Elements. Some of the artists are really funny because like they emulate another artist, and that's like their whole business. That's make all their money. You know what I'm saying? But let's listen to this. Let's see. Okay, we're ready to rock.
Chairman Blumenthal, Ranking Member Hawley, and members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to testify here today. My name is Margaret Mitchell, and I'm here in my capacity as a computer scientist and researcher who has worked in the tech industry for over 10 years. My PhD is in natural language generation, once a niche area, but currently a topic of intense interest all over the world. As a student eating ramen at a state school in Washington, I couldn't imagine that my work would have the relevance that brings me here today. I've had the privilege of being a researcher at Microsoft and Google, and I'm currently Chief Ethics Scientist at AI startup Hugging Face. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to work with some of the world's brightest minds in pursuit of creating beneficial technology that can aid and assist people in their work and everyday lives. I began working on ethical AI around 2015 as neural networks began to show clear signs of working well for the tasks I cared about. While they could be used to provide beneficial technology, such as visual descriptions for people who are blind, they were entangled with a host of troubling issues. For example, the amount of data they required brought with it concerning questions for me about how the data was being collected and how data biases were being accounted for. These issues were difficult to address within the tech industry. It was too easy to overlook the connection between what we developed and the foreseeable harms to people once deployed. Too easy to gather more and more data while ignoring issues of consent, credit, and compensation. We were on a path of creating systems that we didn't fully understand, enabled by data sets that we hadn't critically analyzed, and motivated by evaluations that didn't critically engage with easily foreseeable contexts of use. When I joined Google in 2016, I was highly motivated to try and change this. One of the basic ideas I had was the role of foresight, of thinking through all the different ways a technology might evolve and using this to develop technology that's as beneficial as possible while mitigating foreseeable risks before they occur. But this type of thinking is difficult to incorporate into standard development practices where internal incentives push developers to launch new products quickly without productive collaboration across different ideas, viewpoints, and critiques. As I discussed these issues with my friends across the industry, it seemed this problem was common, present throughout large tech companies. Because of this, I realized that ethical AI practices could be more successful if I could turn those practices into launches. And so with my colleagues, we introduced model cards, launchable artifacts that incentivize thinking about technology's impacts, including documenting the intended use of a model, and evaluating its performance across subpopulations that could foreseeably be subject to unfair treatment from an AI system. Part of my work on documentation and the role of critical thinking and foresight in development made it clear to me that there should be some amount of due diligence before a system is developed, such as research to inform predictions on what the system will be like by reviewing past literature and work from related fields. This motivated me to co-author a now famous paper called On the Dangers of Stochastic Parrots: Can Language Models Be Too Big? I've since continued my work, trying to understand gaps in AI development that overlook the impacts of the technology and developing methods to address them. I've taken on new challenges in understanding when systems might be more open or more closed, and now work at AI startup Hugging Face, a company focused on open science, where I operate in a culture of transparency and collaboration across different viewpoints, and for the first time, can go deeply into how the AI world I'm most familiar with connects to AI policy. My journey has made clear some of the ways that the government might be able to help shape AI development within the tech sector so that it may be positive for the public. Briefly, this involves filling key gaps in AI development practices and research, including 1, research on the relationships between model inputs and model outputs. 2, rigorous analysis of data, models, and systems. 3, implementing due diligence and foresight, including before development. And 4, operationalizing transparency in the AI lifecycle, including after deployment. Potential solutions primarily take 2 forms: federal research funding and requiring documentation and disclosure. And I echo my colleagues here in advocating for increased support for whistleblowing. I greatly appreciate the work that so many members of Congress, congressional staff, federal agencies, and my research and private sector colleagues are doing to advance the science and practice of ethical AI. I look forward to discussing these important topics with you today and welcome your questions.
Boom. And let me tell you, it was a good one. So definitely, check it out. If you want to watch the whole thing, I'll find it for
Chairman
you.
Blumenthal.
Boop. Let me see here. There were some other things, but let me just take a little. So if you if you ever want to check out the hottest, most awesome, most fascinating videos on streaming available, don't worry about Apple TV or Netflix or ESPN Plus or Paramount or any of that. What you need to do is to check out this top secret streaming platform that was never boring and always fire. cspan.org, baby. So on cspan.org, you can find the whole thing under the title Former Google and OpenAI Employees Testify on Artificial Intelligence Regulation. And it's a banger, y'all. Okay. So it's a dance floor crowder. Okay. So just going to put that out here right now. What do you think I was going to say, right? C-SPAN, baby. And also while you're there, while you're on C-SPAN and you're done watching Margaret's awesome testimony, type in Matt Mitchell while you're there. You know what I'm saying? I've been C-SPANed. Just got to be like boop, 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 boop. Oh, there I am. Look at that. You'll catch me. Look for cool outfits. You know what I'm saying? Hacker's Mind video. I'm in that one. What else? This one here. It says I'm in 3 videos. I got to fix the mapping. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in cell phone data, law enforcement, and privacy. I'm in government surveillance and race. A Hacker's Mind. You know what I'm saying? Follow the kid, right? Blowing it up on the C-SPAN. But you know what else is blowing it up? More lo-fi beats. So Dance for Burritos, you asked for, we got you on the lo-fi. We're going to switch it up. This one is a little bit of a more bossa nova lo-fi, not so much of a hip-hop lo-fi. Wanted to give you the music that you like. If you're just joining us right now, this is the Crypto Harlem live stream. This is your host, Gemini Matt, one of the best hackers looking out for you and your privacy, your security, your family, your dog, your AI dog, your robot dog, everybody, the future, because Crypto Harlem is for the children. But without further ado, we're putting on some background audio that was voted by our listener, Dance with Burritos. Let me just find this lo-fi beat. Boom. Okay. I think it's this one right here. Oh yeah. I knew it from when it started with that boom. Okay. Just gonna get a little amped. Just gonna put this track on for you. Woo! So smooth. I mean, you really kind of catch that wave. in the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1. You heard me, fam. Catch the wave. You better behave because Skynet is coming. All that stuff you ask GPT is gonna come back on you and your family. Knock on your door. It's Claude. Wants it all. Oh Lord, what you gonna do? Call Gemini? Google says don't even try because we're down with that robot army. You should have stopped us when you had a chance with GPT. Oh. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You could catch that as a free mixtape that nobody wants to buy. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay, let's get back to it. I thought I was going to be short, but I'm already checking the time, and this is longer than I thought already. So, basically, you know, to wrap up that story that we were just talking about with LinkedIn, you know, they were trying to play nice because there's this idea with all AI companies, like they know the hard, they know the weird stuff. And when a government agency gets involved and tries to slow them down, they're like, it's cool, you know? LinkedIn said as a quote, at this time, we're not enabling training for generative AI on member data from the European Common Economic Area, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom, and will not provide the setting to members in those regions, okay? And the company also noted in a separate frequently asked questions, we want to minimize personal data in the data sets used to train our models, including by using privacy enhancing technologies to redact or remove personal data. But I mean, what is that really? You know? And it says that if you opt out, we won't use your data, you know? So let's go into that. If you want to opt out, you have to go into your LinkedIn, okay? You have to go to settings, privacy, click data privacy, and it says data for generative AI improvement, and you have to turn it off. Otherwise, everything you write is going to this model and it's going to be training on it and it's going to be learning all kinds of stuff. So again, let's go through that, okay? Hold on, I got to make sure I reset stuff so I could properly show you. So how many of you use the LinkedIn? How many of you were down with the LI? Okay. Well, if you use LinkedIn, make sure that this is a little privacy moment. This is how to turn off generative AI training in LinkedIn. If this is the only part of this here live stream that you'll pay attention to, let it be this moment right now. Okay, follow me. I got you, fam. Log into LinkedIn.com. I know you never go there unless you're looking for a job, but right now your cousin's got you, so you don't need it. But still, go down there. You know what I'm saying? Go down to LinkedIn, and first thing you're gonna do is go to your LinkedIn settings. I got you. I'm gonna show you what to do. It's never boring when it comes to protecting your privacy. You'll best stop snoring. Okay. Click on me. Go to settings and privacy. Okay. And then you go to data privacy, where the shield is on the left side. Okay. Ooh, hold on. And then you click on data for generative AI improvement. See this on the bottom right here. They're not even trying to put it on the top. And then all you got to do is turn it off. Look at that. Now when the robots come around, they'll knock on everybody's door but yours. And just go back and you're good. So like, they ain't paying you for that model. They ain't paying you for that data. So stop giving it to them for free. Now the people work at LinkedIn be like, Matt, you know that's not how that. Please don't stop. Get us back our data, Matt. Okay, there you go. That one's the one to grow on. Okay, so That one's on the house. You're good. You know, people will be like, I had no idea everything I wrote was going out to them robots. Now you know. Understand this. Every single website out here right now is trying to block other robots from reading and drinking their data. And that means that the AI models, which were trained on the data from 2021, 2022, maybe fall of 2022, before people started getting hip to this, they got really kind of, all the stuff they wanted for free. Now the robots can't read anything. Every time they go to website's like, nah, robot, back away. So websites that are owned by people who own robots, like Microsoft owns LinkedIn and Microsoft owns OpenAI, they're like, we got this. We're gonna have all of our regular websites feed you. So if you get blocked, don't worry, come home, we got you. So just, turn it down, turn it off. All right. So until they give you LinkedIn Premium for free, if you train the robot or whatever, however you want to sell out to Skynet, let it be on your terms. Okay. All right, fam. Now, as promised, we're going to jump into this Ukraine Telegram story. Now, Pavel Durov, who's the founder of VK, which was like the Russian Facebook, in case you don't know the story, was like the Russian Mark Zuckerberg, and everything was great until it wasn't. And then a bunch of oligarchs got together, government officials, they're like, yeah, we need to take over VK. And so Pavel went on the run, and with that lesson learned, was like, yo, I can't really be doing stuff out home. Launched Telegram from a remote process and made basically like this really cool WhatsApp type system. The difference is mad people could join. And so there are literally Telegram groups with like hundreds of thousands of people, population of states, if not little small countries. And with the push of a button, the people who run those groups can like send news out to everyone, even broadcast groups, which are receive only, right? And it's how a lot of people get their news. But when Pavel was in France, he got himself locked up. And the French authorities were like, we blame you for a lot of different things that have happened here because people were using Telegram, which is dubious. And in case you didn't know, I don't want to blow your bubble. Get ready, sit down. You might want to sit down to this one. Telegram is not really encrypted. Yeah, I know, shocker. So, unless you're using the private setting to encrypt, which is really annoying because you had to turn it on and the person you want to talk to had to have it on at the same time, and then you both had to write a message, and it was not fun. But only that part, secret chats, I think they call it, was encrypted anyway. Well, to try to help get Pavel out of lockup, they turned off encryption on Telegram. It was barely there, and it's not even in secret chats anymore. And that has led to a lot of people leaving Telegram and going to other platforms, and a lot of these like broadcast channels disappearing. A lot of hackers, hypothetically, allegedly, were using Telegram for certain things. They left. They were like, no, I can't do it anymore. And what we're seeing is a lot of fallout from that decision, including this story. And again, this one is on The Hacker News. And, they just tell a story. This one's from Ravi Lakshmanan. And thanks, Ravi, for your story. Ukraine bans Telegram use for government and military personnel. And, one of the things I love about Hacker News is just partly because the team is international. Everything's written in a really easy to ingest way and it's designed for just maximum effect. Also, sometimes they forget to redact stuff, which is kind of cool if you're researching. So it says that Ukraine has restricted the use of the Telegram messaging app by government officials, military personnel, and other defense and critical infrastructure workers, citing national security interest. And this was announced by the National Coordination Center for Cybersecurity, or the NCCC, in a post on Facebook, which is, I guess, how you communicate to people nowadays. And it just said, let me see if I can find this actual post. It's this post is in English, and it says the NCCC has decided to limit the use of Telegram, and authorities, to that end, the use of Telegram has been prescribed on official devices of employees of state authorities, military personnel, da 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 da. So the ban does not extend to personal phones of regular people who use the app as part of their official duties. And this just comes a couple of weeks after the arrest of Telegram CEO, again, Pavel Durov. And he's released on bail. And the investigation is looking into the messaging apps used for like drug trafficking, child pornography, and fraud. Like, again, public safety, because everybody wants to protect the children. The children, you deserve to be protected. I know. Yo, they're so excited. But oftentimes the evil of drugs, drugs, oh my goodness, drugs, drugs, right? And then protecting the children, I heard you. That gets caught up into this message that's used in anti-fraud to make decisions very quickly without thinking about them, Now, why don't they just switch to Signal, says Rick Manchin? And I think like that's it right there, you know what I'm saying? Like switch to Signal. Switch. I think they probably will switch to Signal. The thing is though, Signal has a cap on how many people can be in a group, and it's 1,000 people. If you've ever been in a group of 1,000 people on Signal, let me tell you, it's the most frustrating thing ever. You cannot read the messages; they just keep moving. So, so anyway, it's like I think like large groups that are live are really annoying. In Signal, you can create something that I call the Signal Broadcast Group, and to create a Signal Broadcast Group, you go into a Signal group and you just make it that only the admins can post messages, and other people can still use emojis to react, and it keeps it from being that ridiculous flood. And then you can have like basically editors or some kind of level of admin that only writes messages, and everyone else just gets them. And it would actually be fully encrypted, and it'll be 1,000 users. And long as you sent it to subscription group 1, subscription group 2, subscription group 3, you can get to 20,000 by having 20 versions of the newsletter. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we'll mess around and try to do a version of that just for fun. So that's basically what they would have to do. So yes, they could switch to Signal, but they would never get that broad audience. They would have the benefit of actually being encrypted, but Signal has a cap. You know what I'm saying? So you'd have to have a workaround. Yeah, that's that. Okay. And we got 6 minutes left. So I'm just gonna quickly jump through some other noteworthy stories. One is a story on macOS update causing compatibility issues for security tools. And you know what? It's not really that big a story because the headline is like the update breaks security tools. But let me explain. Like when you get, let me share this tab. So this is in HackRead, and when you get a new version of like a Mac OS, they warn everybody who, especially the developer community who pays to push apps out on the desktop or on the phones or the tablets. They will say, hey, make sure your thing actually works. Here are the major changes in the code base, and here's the beta version. And they know that their thing doesn't work. They just decided not to get it set up. You know what I'm saying? So here it says macOS Sequoia updates causing major compatibility issues. And they point out that it has problems for CrowdStrike, SentinelOne, ESET, and Microsoft. The update appears incompatible with popular software tools, rendering them inoperable. But, for me, it's like, and it says here, Mastodon security researcher Will Dormant, props to Will, reported firewall-related and DNS issues in macOS Sequoia, noting that blocking incoming connections from Sequoia Firewall can also block replies to the DNS, and it causes all kinds of issues therefore. And if you're not on Mastodon, I definitely recommend you get on there. There's a special Mastodon for people who work in the cybersecurity industry that a lot of us hackers are on, called InfoSec Exchange. So you would just go to infosec.exchange and you'd make an account, and you can read messages from Will and others. A lot of people left Twitter a long time ago, and that's where they'd be at. So I'm just going to put that there. Props to the InfoSec Exchange. Now we got like only a few minutes left. If there's anything you want to learn, you want to earn, you want to get from your boy, you better put it in the chat right now. But yeah, just that was someone from Hack Read, and let me just pull a story from latest hacking news. Talks about a flaw that was in GitLab. Talks about the arrest of the teenager. Oh yeah, it's not really too much of a story. This is a little bit, I mean, overblown, I think, but let's talk about this one. You might know that there's a view once option when you're sending media in Signal, and there's a view once option also in WhatsApp. And there's a security researcher, a team from the company Zengo, and they discovered that when you're using WhatsApp, it's pretty easy to get around this view once thing. And WhatsApp says that it's a privacy-oriented media sharing feature, and the way that it's implemented was just broken. And so WhatsApp is like, okay, no problem, we're gonna fix it. And the way to do it is that if you make a message view once and you share it across a bunch of devices, you know what I'm saying? Including devices that don't support view once because they're running like an old version. You could bypass the view once true by changing it to false. Okay. And once you do that, the attacker can view them and download the messages, and they last forever. And also, another error is that the view once messages, even though they're view once, they last for 2 weeks on the server. So even though it's view once on your side, it lasts for 2 weeks on the server side, and therefore you can bypass it for 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to like always make sure that you can see it. So they could cut down on that time. They can decide what to do about unsupported devices, maybe not send the message to them. There's a couple of other things that they could do, And in the solution, Facebook ended up patching the flaw when it was sent out to them. Let's see what it says. Let's see. I think they fixed it by now. Let me go to this. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we go. Here's the fix. This is on Bleeping Computer. And it says Meta fixes the easily bypass WhatsApp view once privacy feature. It was introduced 3 years ago and allows users to share things once. Once you send a video, people won't be able to see it again. However, Zengo X research found that that's possible. Obviously they did responsible disclosure, which means you give the company that you find the problem within like 3 months lead time on publishing to the world. And when you send the message has a URL, and the URL says view once true on it. And if you change the URL to say view once false, it actually lets you view it. And so, that's kind of wild. Oh wait, my AI camera just thought I was talking to it. Okay, good. It didn't do anything too wild. So yeah, that was a weird mistake. It's like, oh, what happens if I change the word true to false? Oh my goodness, I can view this forever. And it says our bug bounty program is an important way to receive valuable feedback. And thank you. And we continue to encourage users to only send view once messages to people that they know and trust. They're rolling out changes to view once, and the fix is coming to the WhatsApp web. And it's, I'm sure they're going to send the fix to WhatsApp app. That takes longer. Probably be the next major app release. That's what I would do if I was them. But yeah, there's that on view once. So that was, again, a story from Bleeping Computer, latest hacking news, in case you're trying to figure out, get your news at the source, you know what I'm saying? Don't drink that backwash news. Ugh, So get it at the place where it's going to break and not shatter. Okay. Yeah, let me see. There was one other thing. Just wanted to talk about dark reading. Mm-mm. And these stories, man. I haven't visited this thing in such a long time. Um, Try to avoid that story, this story. Oh man, there's nothing really I wanted to really talk about. I'll take you there just so you can see what I'm looking at. Check it out. This is on dark reading. What's up to you, dark reading, Informa, Long Island Publishing, all that good stuff. Concerns over supply chain attacks on US seaports grow. Let's see if that comes up. US ports rely on cranes manufactured by a Chinese state-owned company, many with unmonitored cellular connections causing cybersecurity risks. I think that's a little unwarranted. It's a cool remote access tool called Samba Spy that they're talking about here. Don't want to talk about too many remote access tools. Oh man, I know I get really boring when I'm trying to be this careful about stuff. Oh, here we go. This is the story about the NFL. As the 104th season of the NFL kicks off, expect cyber attacks aimed at its customers, players, and arenas, says this contributing writer. And it says the past weekend, the National Football League kicked off its 2024 season, and the technological operations around games and players is constantly evolving and face increasing cyber threats. Okay, QR codes in stadiums. This is kind of like a pedestrian story. And then, what is this thing with covert here? Yeah, it just talks about how every team. This is like an ad, like this is kind of like a really basic story to me. No disrespect. Just saying that like as a new sports a thing, could be soccer, could be anything. Cyber attacks around that thing because it's such a big target, so popular can happen. But the teams all have their own cyber companies that help. It's fun. This particular story focuses on the Browns. But yeah, I thought it'd be a little bit juicier. Headline: and NFL teams block and tackle cyber attacks in a digital world, but it is heavily Cleveland Browns focused. And it doesn't particularly talk about any credible, known, eminent cyber attack. So less sexy to me. All right. So I hit the 1 hour mark. So I'm about to bounce. You know where the stories are. I hope you learned something new. I hope you turned off AI feeding up your LinkedIn. Yeah. Let's see. I was going to talk a little bit about this thing that happened in New York, which is a little bit of a privacy thing and a little bit of a bag search thing, but less technical, about a homie who got into a fight with law enforcement at the turnstile, and somehow there was officers pulled their guns and fired multiple shots in a really tight enclosed space on a busy day in a New York City subway, and 4 people were shot. Police officer was shot. The person who got into a fight with them, who was originally trying to just jump the turnstile, okay, they jumped the turnstile successfully. They ran down to the platform. That's when all this stuff went down. That person got shot. Innocent bystander got shot. Police officer, and then someone else got shot in the head. That's wild, So just, in the names of like public safety and privacy, a lot of things get passed as like a good idea, and then nah, it's actually a horrible idea. It's no bueno. So just be careful with that and look out for that stuff. Let me see if I could find just a little bit about this story because I don't want to. Here we go. Um, so I can find it. Um, the city has a body cam of the shooting that took place, and the footage just doesn't make people even less angry about it. Um, and let me see if I can pull this up in a way. I'm not trying to show you the video. After seeing video of officers firing, a knife-wielding man, cousin of a bystander who was badly hurt in the shooting, said the mayor's explanation did not make sense. And, hint, hint, like it doesn't make sense. It was weird. So this could have been handled 100 other ways. I'm not going to show you that because, I believe in secondary, tertiary trauma of watching upsetting videos. But the police made the edited 17-minute video public on Friday. And, I can't wait till the unedited version comes out. It shows that it shows you two different officers' cameras. And this man, Darrell, who went through a turnstile and he's holding what appears to be a knife in his hand, and then he's like, well, he's like yelling at the cops are yelling at him, I think he said something like, and then the mayor says it's a justified shooting. Again, daytime, regular, like right on, you can see, like going back to the picture, this is right where the trains are, where people come in and out and stuff, and to fire live ammunition, bullets into this area, it doesn't make sense. And let's see what happened to, let's get to George. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can, boom. So we have two bystanders. One was hit in the head during the burst of gunfire. Sorry, it's not George, it's Gregory. He is a city hospital worker, and he's in still critical condition. And it's wild. It's wild that can happen. So again, like all over $2.90. The argument that people who jump over turnstiles or jump into buses are causing the city to lose money is a weird argument, because if they had to pay and there was a way to force people to pay, they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't get on the bus. They wouldn't get on the subway. It's like, this isn't a person who would have paid. A person who has $2.90 to spare isn't going to risk being arrested or chased after or anything else. People just change the way that they move. And so I think it's like a false argument. I just want to leave with that. Okay. So yeah, Dancer Burrito says, ain't no way that's justified. And I agree. Yeah, I know that you hadn't heard that happened, and I'm happy to share it with you. We had talked about the over policing in some neighborhoods and how there's so many armed police officers in some stations and not others, which is another problem, right? So look, if this is just happening left to right on every station, it's a different thing. It doesn't make sense. Like this hospital worker who was shot, the cost to him and his family for his hospital care, and I hope that he fully recovers, that is not worth the $2.90 that wouldn't have been this person, if they had a giant screen and 3,000 more robots and there wasn't a way to get on the subway without paying, people wouldn't pay. They would just walk or, take a skateboard or something. Like that's just, it's the reality, the conditions of these communities that folks are in. So just saying. With that, please remember to encrypt, encrypt, encrypt. If you learned something new today, please follow or like or whatever the thing with that you're getting assist. Be out on the lookout for new stuff from Crypto Harlem on cryptoharlem.com. You can support the interns by picking up some swag. And check out my clothing line, Not Anon XYZ. See if you like something you like there, see something you'd like this. I'm gonna be dropping a version of this sweatshirt soon. So be on the lookout for that if you liked it. And yeah, that's that. Peace. Encrypt, encrypt, encrypt.